Good morning, everybody. I'm going to turn on the light. Just give me a minute. I got a message of empowerment. All right. I've been watching a lot of stuff on YouTube having to do with my favorite people that I love watching. I love watching Daylight and so on and so forth. I was watching a video clipping about him promoting positivity towards Black women, towards women in general, to tell you the truth. And our classic women there of the hip hop season there, of the beginning in the early 1990s, the women that promoted their hip hop were beautiful, were absolutely beautiful. And they always had a pathetic word to say to the sisters out there and how to promote yourself out there in the real world. Like, we were real people thinking really logically what we want to present out to the world, out to the young crowd. The 1990s was phenomenal. It was a pivotal. It was an important time, A lot of things happened. A lot of things that were good, a lot of things that were bad. It doesn't matter, And we still haven't got justice because the police brutality is still going on today. And what are they doing? They're striking out against young Black men. Now, we got to protect our young Black men. We do. We really, really do. And we have to protect our Latino men, our real men out there. They're not doing any crimes. They're just protesting for the right cause, for the right reasons. There are people that are using their heads instead of going and doing crack and going and doing drugs and throwing their life away. They're the ones there that are not so popular, but yet are so profound in what they have to say that they go and protest. They go and take that measure and protest. And that's what real men and women there do. And it all starts when you're at a young age of what you're going to be as an adult, if you're going to be anything at all, because another brother said on Facebook, he mentioned there about how real men have to be referred to as real men in hip hop and exclude them from the little boy and little girl scene. And the little girls are very obvious. They're very materialistic. They always got their nails done. They always have to look in fashion. They always have to be in fashion and be the in thing and the center of attention. When really life is not about that. Not about grabbing attention. Not about who's better than someone else. You see, someone there that does that, or even has their man do that, okay? This is showing maturity in so many different levels. When, it's not even worth it, because those people are not even worth even talking about. When you're promoting profanity and so on and so forth against white people, because really, they don't care. They don't care. That just promotes them to be the way that they are. And they're little boys and little girls there that are just hateful and racist. And they're very immature. They don't understand how the world works at all. But they want to be seen and they want to be heard, like the little assholes that their parents were and that now they are. You know, that's the difference. That's the difference between a demon, okay, that wants to be seen and known and doesn't care if it's negative publicity, doesn't care what people think or whatever, as long as they get the attention. As long as they get the attention of everybody on the TV broadcast, on the TV news. You know, there's a lot of money involved in promoting bigotry and promoting fascism. There's a lot of money involved. There's a lot of money involved. And you want to know something? The only people there that really benefit anything from it is the newspapers. The newspapers, the media. The media feeds into that. They're so hard, you know, and it promotes whoever they feel like and demeans anybody that they feel like. Remember, sometimes they're the people there that are being demeaned and bullied at that time are usually the main heroes in society. They're just taking a beating from people there that don't want them to be seen or heard because they got too much positivity to say for the community, too much uplifting words there to say to their loved ones, you know, and whatever, you know, like I want to get into massage therapy, but I'm like thinking to myself there, I'd love to get into that and love to help people and heal people. But I don't want to heal people there just for money. I want to go out inside the community there and really be beneficial to people and see people progress and heal and put away their guns, put away their violent ways, put away all this stuff there that's just a facade there when it's really his little girl and little boy inside there saying, I'm in pain. I'm in pain. I'm suffering. I don't like where I am. You know? That's what the little boy and little girl inside is saying to these people there that call themselves gangsters and so on and so forth. They're putting up a tough front. But in reality there, they have a little boy and little girl inside that says, I don't like where I'm at. I don't like my situation. It's hurting me. I have a lot of pain and I'd rather flash out than really heal, be put together, and be made into a man and a woman there of society there that can be beneficial. You know? Nipsey Hussle was one of those people there that was put in that position, you know? And his ending was very tragic, very sad, you know? And what did it really have to do behind the scenes? It had to do with the black man there that worked closely with police authorities there to get black men arrested, okay? He was a snitch for the cops. And Nipsey Hussle knew this, okay? So no, he didn't want him around. He didn't want him around the people there that he wants to promote, that he wants to see succeed and go to higher lengths. That's what the whole project there about his whole family getting involved in opening an entrepreneur business was to see people build their lives up and have a life, you know? and maybe someday see themselves in a better position than they are today, so that single mothers don't have to struggle, okay? So that single fathers don't have to struggle, because that's a reality today also as well. That's very, very real. Very, very real, okay? Very real here in Canada and also in the United States also as well. We don't just have deadbeat dads, we have deadbeat moms. Real wretched deadbeat moms that really aren't safe for kids to be around anyways. Because they're going down a path there that they've been warned, but they're going into no man's land. Regardless. And there's no one there that's going to stop it. As long as the kids are safe, that's all that matters. Okay? Because our youth is our future. And we must look to our future. Always. I always promote moving forward. Moving forward. Moving forward is also bringing the youth to a knowledgeable understanding of not just self, but awareness of what the world really has to offer. Okay? There's people there that have lost faith in themselves completely and turn to cults and groups that can get them initiated and thrown ahead of the game, okay? And fame and fortune. Okay, I'm not going to mention them because we already know who they are. We already know those organizations, those groups, those people. They're all connected together. And personally, they just want to promote as much negativity out there as they possibly can because that's what they feed off of. People suffering. People suffering moments, hard times. They feed off of that. They enjoy it. They giggle. They smile. They enjoy seeing someone grieving because they cannot pay their bills. Okay? Cannot pay their bills. They don't care. And also, I understand. I can remember I knew a young man that got involved with the young girl, okay? And really, I'm glad that it never got to that point because he's a real good guy. He's a real good guy, but he's a lot of what young black men do. They get involved with minors, okay? They can get involved with minors and they pay the minors more than the girl there that's their own age. But they give more respect to the girl there with their own age than they do to the minor. And this is how a lot of young black men end up in jail. Because they end up in court and all the dish and the dirt is coming up. And all they see is this little girl with a lollipop, sucking on a lollipop, wagging her hips aside, from side to side, coming into the courtroom. And everybody's eyes on her. How old is she? Listen, this is how a lot of young black men get caught in the system. Listen, you like a girl, you wait. You wait until that girl is no longer a little girl or a minor anymore. And at a certain age where it's appropriate for you to have something to do with. It's the same with women. Statutory rape is also the same with women. It's just that it's not so publicized and very rarely goes to court and very rarely those women there go to jail, which they should. Okay? Because I have no respect for women there that cause statutory rape for minors. Okay? I don't think that's flattering. I don't think that's cute. Okay? You wait. You want to be with somebody, you wait until that person's at an age where they're no longer juvie. You know? For your own protection and your own safety. Okay? That's smarts. That's being an adult. Taking an adult stand. Okay? Taking an adult stand and being patient and waiting. Okay? For the right moment at the right time. There's too many young girls that are minors getting caught up in this. And too many black men are going to jail because of it. All right? So we got to stop that altogether. That's got to be stopped. Because we don't need our young black men getting caught up in the system like that over stuff that's just foolishness. She sits there thinking it's a game because she's only a minor. She sits there again thinking it's a game. Okay, it's a game that she's playing, like poker or something, except that this has to do with her life. But a lot of girls don't care because they get paid a lot more than the girl his own age. Okay? She gets paid a lot more. Keep her quiet. Okay? But it's not any fun when you see a minor pregnant over a situation like that. Okay? Then all of a sudden she ends up all alone. And the guy just wanders off and disappears, moves away. Those girls are in the most harmful situations possible. Because that's very common with a lot of them that do that. Okay? I was never after my own flesh until I became an adult. When I became an adult, I was interested in adult men. Okay? I was interested in adult men that had adult minds that could give me the respect and honor that I deserve. Because I didn't throw my life away and jeopardize it and play gambling games with my life in that way. Any fashion, form, or way whatsoever. And when I came into practice of Islam, plus also in Christianity also as well, I had to master my own flesh. I had to master my own flesh because I said, I'm determined. I'm not going to be promiscuous. I'm not going to sleep around. I'm not going to sleep with every Tom, Dick, and Harry that comes along because that's just not my nature. I don't like a lot of those masculine energies being attached to me. So what I do is I stay platonic until I see proof that that person there wants to take the initiation and take me seriously. Okay? Then we can step up to the next level. Okay? Then we can step up to the next level. That takes time. And you know, in order to control your flesh, sometimes fasting is the best way. Sometimes getting your mind off of certain things there, all right, and putting your mind on something else is the best way, okay? I get really creative. I get really into exercising and jogging and so on and so forth. I jogged around, all around St. John, New Brunswick. There was not a corner or crevice in St. John, New Brunswick that I didn't jog, okay? I was jogging all around town because I was not sexually active at all. But I had tension and frustration. So this is how I dealt with it. By exhilarating my body to get rid of that energy. And it worked. It worked. People were like looking out their car window there and seeing, oh, there's Aaron. Hi. They saw me everywhere. They saw me everywhere looking at me there. And I'm there jogging in the middle of winter in the freezing cold. Because St. John is extremely cold. It's Eskimo cold. Eskimo cold weather. It didn't stop me. You know, I also mentioned there to Daylight and one of my postings there where I said, I can remember there was a time where I got ready and I was going to go out for a jog. I had to get rid of some frustration. And this is how I got peace of mind. I went out there. And immediately as soon as I got out there, it started raining. I said, I'm determined to get rid of this energy one way or another. No rain is going to stop me. So I did my jog. I got rid of that energy. I got rid of that frustration. And as soon as I hit the door to my house, it stopped raining and the sun came out. I felt God and the angels laughing at me that I actually even went out and did that. But I was so proud of myself. I said, I don't care. Because I did it. It was an achievement for me. When I got that out of my system, it was a big achievement for me, you know? There's a lot of girls and boys in high school. We're not doing that. We're not doing that. We're not being productive in sports because they're too preoccupied there with boy-girlfriend things all the time. And a lot of them were very loose. Very loose. So there was a lot of temptation. There was a lot of attraction to that. But I decided not to be part of any of that. I said to myself, I'm going to school to get something out of it. To get an education. Okay? I was determined to get my education. So I did. I did get my education. And for many years, I did that. I jogged. I can't do it anymore there because my bones and my muscles get sore. So I can't do it as much as I used to. It's all the process there, getting old. That's okay. You know, I can always go out for walks. I still exercise in my own house. I still get rid of that pinned up energy also as well in so many different ways. And it's looking good on me. This is what I'm wearing today. See? Looking good on me. You know? Looking fit, looking healthy, looking good. And I'm eating healthier. I'm eating better. Instead of having Pepsi, regular Pepsi there, that's sugary and filled with sugar that causes diabetes and cancer and all this stuff, I choose Diet Pepsi. I enjoy Diet Pepsi better. Not because it's a healthier choice, but because it prevents diabetes. Because the sugar and sweetness that's put in this is not real sugar. It's actually better. Because a lot of diabetics have to take this type of sugar in order to sprinkle it on their cereal, sprinkle it on their foods. They have to cook with this type of sugar. Okay? Because of their diabetic situation. So to avoid that, I still like pop, but I'm going to be smart about it. And instead of smoking, that my mother got me involved with, and I wish to God I never put a cigarette in my mouth, all right? Instead of smoking, I vape. I vape. I don't mind vaping. It actually has a nice smell. So when I'm done vaping, when I go somewhere, I don't smell bad. I don't stink that cigarette smell aftermath afterwards. I don't smell, nobody smells that. I don't smell like that. I smell actually better. Okay, it's kind of like a perfume that goes through your clothes and so on and so forth that makes you smell better. All right? So if you're perspiring or if you're sweating, whatever, you'll still smell good. You'll still smell good because that's from the vapor stick. But getting off topic, all right? We want to promote our youth to become healthy adults, healthy, well-rounded educational adults, okay? And we got too much of people there that are so envious and jealous and got the evil eye on our young teenagers and our young minors, okay? From other kids, all right? That promote selling their drugs, promote their drug dealer by giving ammunition from the drug dealer, their poison, to go to parties and hand them out there to everybody that's there at the party. I never really went to parties that much. I did go to some parties, but they were never good. They were never good. Parties were never good. We always drank when we were still minors. We smoked when we were still minors, thinking that this is what adults do. I had no idea what I was getting involved with. But when I got involved, when I turned 14, that was a an important moment in my life where I made a 100-degree shift. Okay? 100-degree shift. Because I started changing automatically. I said, I'm not going to allow this to get the best of me. I'm still going to look at goals. I'm still going to look at achievements. That's why I chose jogging. I chose jogging for a lot of reasons, not because I want to win a tournament, in track and field. I did it for my own success, for my own success in myself, to say, yes, I achieved it. I did it, and promote that. It's very important to promote that in young kids. That's why sports are so important, even for girls, especially for girls, okay? Because a lot of times their girls don't see that they have any purpose, and they just see the fact there that they like boys and boys are an interest to them, and they end up in teenage pregnancies very easily, okay? Which doesn't help their self-esteem at all. It actually makes the situation worse, okay? Because the boy always ends up taking off. This is what you get there when you mess with boys. Because boys are boys. They're not going to be men. And they're not going to be changed into men just because you decide to have a baby. They're not. Because they're not at that age where they can cope or deal with that. Okay? They haven't even got the job there to even provide an income for that kid. Okay? You understand me? A lot of teenage kids there, they don't use their brains. They don't use their head. They use every other part of their bodies except their brain. And that's dangerous. I've seen the dangerous effects there from people there that are like that. They allow their emotions to get away from them instead of mastering and protecting and honoring their body and their holy temple and saying, I'm going to hold off until I'm ready, till I'm really ready, till I'm an adult. So I'm really ready till I'm an adult. That was my goal. Okay, just reaching adulthood would be my goal. Okay, reaching adulthood so I could do adult things and be a responsible adult. I was a lot wiser when I was young than I ever gave myself credit for, or anybody else ever gave me credit for. I'll tell you that right now. Because when I was 14, it was 100-degree turn. I made a choice. I made a choice to give myself there to the cross. I made my choice there to give myself there to Jesus Christ. You know? And it just because I'm Muslim doesn't mean I turn my back on him at all. It doesn't mean that at all. Actually, it promotes me to even go further into the fact there that now I'm a lamb. Talking to you right now from a lot of experience there, from Bible studies and Quran studies. And now I read the Torah just recently, about a year ago in 2020, you know, and so I'm quite knowledgeable in those areas. I enjoy sitting by myself there and really contemplating a book and learning new things. I really enjoy being a student to the universe, definitely. So anyways, these books are very vital and extremely important. All right. Remember, Adam and Eve proved to be boys and girls mentality when they took a bite of that apple and then they start pointing at each other, blaming each other and throwing each other under the bus instead of saying, yeah, I did do that. I'm responsible. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, I got tempted and this is exactly what happened. Actually, Eve did do that. It was Adam that pointed the finger there and threw Eve under the bus, literally, under the bus, and took no responsibility whatsoever. None. It's all her fault. How many times have women have been put in that situation where the man points his finger and blames her for everything. Everything. And you never hear the end of it. Everything. And never gives her any credit there that she was the best thing that he ever had in his life. He'll never say that. He'll never say that. Because a lot of his teachings there from Christianity, from Judaism, from Islamic men are very well known to be very chauvinist, extremely overbearingly chauvinist men. And they have no problem there throwing all their wives under the bus, okay? And saying, hey, I'm innocent, I'm innocent, I deserve to go to Jannah. It's all their fault. Not mine. You know, hey, I've seen it. I've seen it with my own two eyes. I've heard it from the women there in the congregation. I've heard it. Over and over and over again. You know, and they don't see their women there in high places. A lot of Sunni religious men. Don't see their whim there in high places. Actually, they find every opportunity whatsoever to tear her down. Okay? They may say nice things there in the mosque at the time to encourage people to come to their religion, okay, that has money. But they never tell them the truth. They never tell them the true truth and take off that mask there and reveal themselves. They put up a mask there and they say, this is who we are. We're holy in justice. But yet they go home there and they cuss and beat up their wives there and so on and so forth. It's ongoing. Those are little boys. Those are little boys, little angry little boys who can't handle life. That never got a spanking from their mother when they were young. Okay? Because their mother wanted them to take care of them in old age. And they have to be a mama's boy. So no, they didn't get any beatings. They didn't get any spankings. This is the problem. This is the problem. We've taken chastisement out of the system altogether and leave parents powerless. Leave parents powerless to little children, okay? For them to make their own judgment and their own decisions, okay? Or else where they'll call the police on you. That was a big case there in the 90s. That started in the 90s, all right? Now we're seeing the results. That our grandparents, our grandfathers, they were telling the truth when they said, spare the rod and spoil the child. They were telling the truth. That saying was not just said for the fun of it, okay? Not just said so that they could spank children. No. They knew better. They need the children to look at them as an authority figure. Bring back the authority figure into the system. Again, now there's some that did take it too far. There's a difference between chastising and there's a difference between abuse. Okay? There's a big difference between abuse and chastising. And they're obvious. Okay? Chastising is when you take a rod or a stick or even a twig and you whip someone's bottom with it. Okay? Or a belt even. Whip someone's bottom with it. That's chastisement. That's not abuse. Okay? Because I'll tell you right now, the kids would think twice of doing it again. And there's people there that go too far with it. They're on drugs, strung out on drugs, didn't make wise decisions, and are not capable of being responsible adults, okay? So they end up there abusing their kids, over-abusing their kids, like hitting their kids there to the point there that they're black and blue all over the place. That's abuse. That's abuse. There's a difference there from having a little twig whipping you on your butt and having bruises all over yourself from a domestic violence. Okay? That's a matter of narcissistic control. Okay? Narcissistic control over someone smaller than yourself. That's bully mentality. That's a bully personality. Some adult there that never grew up and stayed the bully on the playground. Okay? That's the difference. Okay? That's the difference. And that goes on from one generation to the next to the next. All right? And it's very sad and very tragic. Because at one time there, back in the 1950s and 40s and 30s, there were reports there of child deaths. Okay? That were never prosecuted or they were never imprisoned. Okay? Because they were people of authority. Okay? They were people with money, basically. So they just buried the child there and said they had an accident. A lot of that happened during those periods. Okay? Like I said, there's a big difference between child abuse and chastisement. Chastisement, you feel the belt, okay, over your butt, all right? You're going to feel it. But trust me, when you get older, you'll thank that person that they did chastise you, because that's the person there that truly loved you. People there that don't chastise their kids don't love their kids. All right? They're the parents there that said, oh, you want to go and play? You want to go and play? Go ahead and play. And don't bring them in before the street lights go on. Don't care if they come in before the street lights hit the scene. Okay? Parents that just don't care. Okay? That's child neglect. That's another type of abuse. They just don't care. You know, there's all kinds of stuff like that. But anyways, there's a big difference between little girls and little boys that never grow up. Okay? They're racists. They're bigots. They're hateful. They're jealous. They're envious. They're cold and calculating and narcissistic. Those are children that never grew up here. Okay? Those are children that never grew up. And that cycle will continue. And them abusing family members. I don't envy the young men there today with what they got there to present them with the women today. We got young girls going out with young girls and having a young boyfriend there on the side. Okay? That's vampire mentality. Okay? Now that's good. Because personally, that's a person there that's there already got in their head, I don't have to be faithful to nobody but myself. I'm here to get whatever I want. This is what we got with children that never got chastised because their parents didn't care enough to chastise them, or they were too scared to chastise them. Listen, as far as I'm concerned, if I ever had been in a situation like this, I'd treat it just like my dad. You know? He says, oh, okay. You want to do that? Okay, here's the phone. Here's the phone. Hope that the government treats you real well. Because you won't be sitting in this house anymore. You do that, you better pack your things there, and I don't want to ever see you again. Personally. You got to be hardcore like that. Because you're teaching that child something. You're teaching that child something. That I am the authority figure. I pay the bills. I pay the rent. And you are going to respect me. You want to go down that road, you go right ahead. But don't expect to stay here. Don't expect to stay here. I don't care what happens to you after that. Because obviously you made a choice there that you want the government to raise you. I've seen a lot of kids. What happens to them when they make that choice? It's not happy. they don't end up happy. They end up in a worse situation than they were beforehand. Okay? Because they're in a foster home, nobody cares about you. And you got all kinds of problematic kids around you. They're willing to beat you up there to steal things from you. Okay? That's what you get. And the government won't protect you from that. No. Government won't protect you from that at all. Your life will change drastically. You'll have to sleep with one eye open to make sure that no kid there has a dagger on them that you're sharing a room with, and gets it in his head there, I don't want this person here anymore. Because there's kids actually that do that. And they're doing it right now. You know? There was an incident in a school in Orland. It's there in the Maritimes. It's right off of Fredericton. There was a school where kids, they got into a fight there, and they weren't just fighting with their fists. Oh, they took out daggers. They had weapons. And people got hurt bad. Like it didn't turn out good. This is what the kids are doing now. And they took away all authority from the principal from doing anything. Now, obviously, they're not getting it at home. They're not getting it at home. So, this is what we got. This is what we got. And they want to bring discipline back inside the school system. The parents went to the school there and said, you handle this. Oh, we handle this. Well, they're just sitting back there, just smiling. Because they're saying it's not up to us, it's up to the school board. You're going to have to take it up to the school board. All right? You don't want to be parents? You want us to be your be your kids' parents? Okay, take it up with the school board. And they have every right to feel that way. Every right. Because their system beforehand was not flawed. Okay? It was not flawed. And this is an upscale school in Orland that this happened. You know? What can I say? They had it good. They had it real good. They had it real good. And now they took away all their authority. So what are they supposed to do? What are they supposed to do? The parents are too scared to discipline these kids there because they don't want to go to jail. As far as I'm concerned, it tends to be parents there that are not stepping up to the plate and saying, look, I'm putting my foot down and I'm being a parent. And you're going to do what you're told. You know? Take that initiation from the get-go, from the beginning. Okay? You do that even with kittens or with puppies. And you don't be abusive with them. Trust me. They know an abusive an abusive chastisement next to a loving chastisement where they have to learn something. Okay? Because I'll tell you right now, my kittens love me. Okay? I give them all kinds of freedom to run around my house. Okay? And they bump into things, they do these things, whatever. I'm not worried about it. Because you see, Crystal is my cat. And I love my cat, Crystal. Okay? She came from a domestic house. Okay? Where they abused her. They spanked her whenever she got out of line. Okay? And I saw this. I saw this behavior of her cowering away from me whenever I said no. I said I'm gonna snap that right out of her. I'm gonna have her know that she is in a safe home. She's in a loving home. And that's what you gotta understand. There's people there that are adults. When it comes to chastisement, sometimes it's a loving chastisement. You know? Best that you get it from someone you love than that situation there in Orland. Okay? See what I mean? That's all part of being an adult. Being a grown adult. You know, I have no respect for women that allow their men there to chastise their children all the time and then turn around and said, why'd you do that? She should be backing him up and saying, all right, that's where you want to be. What was the reason for it? And if he had a good enough reason, then you just say, then he deserved it. You put him to bed there and you ground him. And you give him a scolding before he goes to bed. You back up your husband when it comes to that. Okay? You don't just turn around and say, why'd you do that? Is that really right? You stupid. You back up your husband. And when your husband and you are at your father's place and your father gets inside an argument with your husband and your husband tells you to get inside the car and your father says, no, you sit down at the kitchen table there, I'll handle this. As a woman, you're no longer daddy's little girl anymore. You're now your husband's wife. So when your husband says, get in the car, you pick up your purse, you get your coat, and you move into that car. Okay? Because your husband's trying to avoid something. Okay? Trying to avoid something because maybe your father's in the wrong. But this is what a lot of young girls from rich neighborhoods do. All right? They never undermine their father's authority because he's the one with all the money. He was the one with all the money. He was the one there that gave the credit card to you to go and get your wigs, get your makeup, get your eyelashes, get your nails done, you know, before your husband came along. Then all of a sudden there you expected him to do the same. And he felt obligated to do so there because he had a lecture from your father. You know, this is what you get from rich, snobby girls. Rich, snobby girls never grow up to be women that become wholesome wives. They ain't equipped. There's got to be someone there that understands following through with something, achieving something, striving for the positivity in a hard and rough time, and giving nothing but positivity out there in any shape, form, or fashion, okay, to men that may need it, okay? Even if it's on Facebook, even if it's on Instagram, give it, okay? If you got it to give, then give it, all right? Because more men need women there that back them up. They're strong enough to say, I got you, baby. I got your back. I got your back, baby. The woman can stand on her own, all right? The woman can pretty much stand on her own. There's no problem with that. A lot of women there, I hear a lot of black women there say, he didn't have my back. You're supposed to have his back, okay? In order for him to supply you with all your needs and wants, okay? But someone there that comes up against you there to hurt your feelings shouldn't really be able to hurt your feelings at all. Because that's what a strong woman does. They say, come on, you want to give it? I can give it right back. You better be ready to take it. That's a powerful woman that's capable of doing that. That can stand on her own 2 feet and don't need nobody there to defend her. Okay? She's got this. And there's lots of women out there that are just like that. But you won't find them in Beverly Hills. You won't find them in ritzy, uppity class, suburban neighborhoods. You'll get good pussy, but that's all you'll get. Women there, that are real women from the neighborhood. And I'm telling you, Snoop Dogg knew exactly what he was doing there when he married his woman. Because that's a divine feminine with a divine masculine. And they are a perfect couple. And I promote black, what's it called there? Black love. I promote black love. Snoop Dogg and his wife, now that's real black love, okay? They got each other's back, period. Because they know where they came from and they know how hard life was. They came from the same neighborhood, same background, same everything. So she's got his back and she's strong enough there to have her own back at the same time. That's a real powerful woman. And that's real black love. Real black love. That's what I want to say. I hate seeing people there say, oh, this is black love. That's black love. This is black love. And never giving Snoop Dogg any credit. Because he got a girl from the neighborhood. He didn't marry a ritzy daddy's girl. Okay? He didn't do that. He didn't have to. He was positive enough there they knew he was going to make it. And she had his back there by saying, yes, you are going to make it. And we're going to make it together. That's real black love. That's what I'm talking about. Real men and real women. Okay? You can say whatever you want about hip hop. Those are real men. Those are grown, real men. Okay? They're no longer looking at tricks. No longer looking at skirt. No longer looking at little girly toys. Boy toys, certain situations, scenarios. Because they're not worth chasing after. not worth chasing after. Okay? Support your black men. Have their backs in every scenario possible, even when it comes to your kids. And that is real power.